Hello traders, here. This is Chris Capre with 2ndSkiesForex.com. Today's video, I want to talk about a live price action trade setup I'm in on the Dow Jones right now. It's October 20th. The market actually just closed for New York and will be opening up soon for Asia. So I want to go over the price action context, the characteristics. I'm showing you my exact entry and stop loss, why I chose these, why I chose for my target, what I'm looking for, how I'll manage the trade, and so forth. So let's get into this trade. So looking at the Dow Jones, as you can see zooming out, it's been in a pretty consistent, stable downtrend with a lot of really interesting pullback opportunities to get short a lot of good role reversal levels here. So support became resistance. And then most recently, we had this nice breakout structure, which I know some of the members in the price action course got. So congrats to you that traded this well. Very clean structure as per our breakout setup. And the next one after, this is where it gets interesting. So we had an impulsive sell-off. But then we had this very counter-trend impulsive reaction just sub 15.9. And then it formed a quick double bottom within the same day, actually, or within about a day later. And the bids held the line very, very consistently here. So it was very tight, very low here. There wasn't much of a wick below this. So this strong double bounce, I started to see this and said, I think this might be the end of the trend. So the key for this, obviously for the bulls, would be taking out this role reversal level here. So this had been support through 4 times. It should act as resistance. What happened when the market got there? It had a pin bar and a brief sell-off, but then right after that just powered right through it. So there were 2 opportunities to really get into this trade right here. Even if you had shorted and lost money in this one, then you should be thinking, okay, the bias is no longer to the short side, it's to the upside. Now I need to flip my bias and get long instead of looking to get short. So you really had a couple opportunities to get long on this one here. The first was this role reversal level via our false break setup. If it was resistance, then it should become support for the false break setup. And after double touching off of this here, it then climbed higher about 200 points and then came right back down to this level again. Fast forward to today, which is where I got in. So I woke up right around this candle it formed. And I looked at this and said, okay, the level seems to be holding. We had a brief flush of any stops that were here. Those are all taken out. This candle I tried to pierce below it, didn't make it below the lows of this or this candle. So it looks like now the buyers are pretty much holding the level and I should be looking to get long. So literally I just sent my entry to get a pullback just a few points above the level just in case it didn't get that deep again. And as you can see, zooming in, and moving forward into this, I pretty much caught the low of that candle and it only went a few points below my entry and that was it. So I got pretty much the last entry that you could on this move with this level holding. Ideal would have been to get onto this level right here. This would have been the entry, this would have been the ideal entry. But instead, after this I was a little late, so I had to get in at that time here. Now since then, the market has bounced after selling off one more time, bounced pretty much higher, 4 hours of consecutive buying. So of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, actually 9 now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, after the last 9 hours, this thing has bought up 8 out of 9 hours. So the bulls are clearly in control right now. In terms of my first target, I would suspect that this would probably be the most likely target, so in this range here. So that's between 16,467 and just sub 16.5. That would be my first place that I'd be interested in taking profit. But I'm gunning for a little bit higher. This is where my current take profit is. So it's the next role reversal level, which is about just under 16.6. It's 10 points under 16.6. Now, if you look at where my stop is placed, let me explain my stop loss location and why. So I placed my stop below these 2 candle lows and not below this low. So traditional pin bar traders would have gotten in somewhere around here and placed the stop below here. I think that's actually a bad move. Why? Because we've already had a rejection at the level. It held, close above it, brief flush of stops here. Then this one was a lower penetration. So by putting my stop down here, even if I got in over here, if I put my stop down here, any deeper penetrations below this wick would actually suggest a sign of weakness. And so here, this rejection was higher. So I don't want anything to get below this because that would suggest that there's still weakness present in the market. Instead, what I'm looking for from the market is for those rejections to actually get higher or hold above the level. If it isn't holding above the level and stays below it, then I really don't want to be in the trade, because the level is really the reason why I want to be in this trade. So because I wasn't using a 50% retrace tweak entry or anything like that, and then having a stop either here or much lower, I'm affording myself a much tighter stop and therefore a much higher R potential in the trade. So I chose as my logical stop to be below this low, and this low is just a few points below this here. And so because of that, I have a 40-point stop, and then my first target, which is about here, is over 180 or 170 points away. So that offers me about a 4.25 R at a minimum should it make it here. I'm already up well over 2 R in the trade. And so, just this adjustment on the stop and giving myself a more precise stop and a more efficient entry allows me to garner higher profit per trade. So those of you who are used to going for 2-1, I can double that within the same trade. If it goes to my larger target, which is actually right here at 15,575, then what are we talking about? You're talking about a 260 plus point target with a 40-point stop. That's roughly a plus 7 R on the trade. So this is, not something that is, I guess, a traditional method that's taught. It's a little more aggressive. It requires a little more confidence and precision, but this is the kind of trading that we teach in our advanced price action course. We teach people how you can flip bias from short to long really quick, when you should, what levels you should be looking for that, how to avoid the trap of just trading patterns and signals, but to go beyond that. And so this is the kind of methods that we teach inside our course. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. For those of you that are interested in becoming a member and seeing more examples of live trade setups that I take and share with my students all the time, feel free to check us out at 2ndSkiesForex.com. Make sure to take a look at our advanced price action course. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I look forward to working with you. Good luck trading.
And almost no wick on the top told me that the bulls here were actually quite strong indeed from an intraday perspective. Following that up, we have some kind of gentle selling back into the same level here, this same kind of area here that we had found basing at 1. So to me, the sellers still were in control of the market, and they considered this a role reversal level. That's where the level was viewed as having a role of support, and now it's resistance. So support here, and then now it becomes resistance, hence a role reversal level.